Okay, guys, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Force Commander today, because today we are going to be playing the first of two special Star Wars themed sessions that we are playing on May 4th, 2024, May the 4th, aka Star Wars Day. And our first session will be going to, it's actually something we haven't played for a really long time on the channel on a regular basis, but something we were talking about it last night after our Elder Scrolls session and reminiscing how much fun we had with the Fantasy Flight trilogy of Star Wars role-playing games, also known as the one with the funny dice. The three games that make up the Fantasy Flight trilogy are, of course, Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny. This is going to be played using the Age of Rebellion set of rules, primarily with some other stuff added in. But we are calling this session Lament for last year's model. And this is a session that has been made possible by the generous donors through the Hero Save Villages campaign. There's a link to that charity campaign down below where you can make any donations if you enjoyed this session. All donations that go through there go directly to the kids who benefit from the services provided by SOS Children's Villages International Charity. The donors through the charity since the beginning of the year have voted on what era we're playing in, what heroes we're playing, what villains they're facing, and what role-playing game we are playing. And as such, that is why we have a number of familiar faces and playing a game with the name Rebellion in the title, because our generous donors voted for clone troopers playing in the era of the Rebellion, facing the might of the Imperial military, played with the Fantasy Flight Star Wars games. Graham, I don't want to alarm you, but you've suddenly become Tamora Morrison again.
Okay.
Oh.
With me today are a quartet of stellar players who are ready to go to a galaxy far, far away to play a quartet of Clone Wars veterans. So I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got the birthday boy, Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Bushwhack. He is a clone scout trooper.
Very nice. Next up is Graham.
Hi, I'm Graham, and I'm playing Crater, the clone support trooper.
Very nice. Next up is James.
All right, I'm James, and I'm playing Sundown, an ex-Republic commando.
And we will recognize that this session, in a very small way, is made to justify James's recent purchase as well. So, and
my missing of the trilogy.
Yeah, but certainly not least, is John.
Hey everyone, I am John. I'm playing Trench, and like every good clone officer, I'm in the back.
Nice. All right, so then, guys, I mentioned we discussed it before we went online. There's a number of us who have either not played this in a very long time or have played this not at all or very little. Has everybody played this at least once?
Yeah. I've never played in it.
Oh, well, that's so awesome. Okay, great. So I'm very interested to see what you think. You've played the 2D20 games, and as a point of interesting trivia, the 2D20 Star Wars that we played, the 2D20 game, was written or designed by the same game designer that designed this game, a guy named Jay Little.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there will be some commonalities that you will see between the two. So, guys, our session opens in the depths of space, as is so uncommon in a Star Wars story. And what we would see going overhead is a relatively large, not enormous, not Star Destroyer size, but a respectable size starship. And those in the know may recognize it as a Gozanti class armed transport. We see that there is a beautiful gem of a green and blue world that this is approaching and entering the atmosphere on. And because this is not one of the Skywalker trilogy ones, we would see in white lettering the planet Arago. I was trying to remember what I called it. what we would see as well as some white lettering. Not a crawl, because it's not the Skywalker trilogy. But white lettering would tell us, at the end of the Clone Wars, the newly forged Imperium, or Empire, found itself with an excess of troops no longer required. In the years immediately after the formation of the Empire, while the promise was made to those soldiers who fought, were wounded, and served nobly in the Republic, they were promised initially a place in the new Imperial military, and that very quickly found that that was either not the case, or it was certainly not a place they would want to be. Very shortly after the events of Order 66 and the formation and the establishment of other different branches of the apparatus of the Empire, clone troopers found themselves relegated to very menial tasks at best, arrested and taken away to unknown places for trumped-up charges, discharged where they were not physically able to serve any longer, and very much found themselves, like the Clone Wars themselves, as something that everybody just kind of wanted to forget about. The faces of the clone troopers were a reminder for those in the galaxy of all the pain and loss and violence that they had experienced. And as could potentially be understandable for those who have lived through such conflicts, they just didn't want to see reminders of it anymore and think about the new age of safety. As such, the clone troopers were very much found to be on their own, and understandably those who were upset and tried to take up any more of a violent or aggressive position very quickly found themselves disappeared as well. They did find allies in the slowly dying Senate, and one of the allies proposed a response, almost in response to someone else's callous attitude about why don't they just, like all good soldiers should, just fade away. And as such, the colony of Fade was established. Never let it be said that the clones did not inherit the wry sense of humor of their genetic donor. Fade, for a time, was a success. The clones and the extended families that they made were able to find a place on that rocky planet. It was difficult. It was thankless. There were dangerous animals there. It is no place anyone else would want to willingly settle. But the clones made it work. And then the taxation started. And after efforts to try and bargain with the Imperial Senate to try and have that taxes decreased, agitation among the clone veterans began. And there is one thing that the Empire learned very early on. You meet any sort of resistance or rebellion with an iron fist. All four of our heroes were veterans of the Clone Wars who had made their homes on Fade. I'm not certain whether any of them necessarily knew one another or were friends with one another. But when the stormtroopers came in the dead of night with their flamethrowers and their orbital bombardments and their Imperial walkers to eliminate the entirety of Fade, our four veterans, as far as they know, were the only survivors of that doomed colony. Near the end, when the Empire thought themselves successful in having exterminating all of the remaining clones on Fade, our four managed to sneak themselves onto one of the transports that they were doing. While Fade was not a very good place for agriculture, if the clones could import mining droids, there was a great deal of natural resources to be exploited there, something overlooked by original surveys done by the Republic. And seeing a stream of Gozanti carriers bringing in mining equipment and further troops, our heroes realized that was a way to at least get off. You have spent weeks now in the hold of this transport. Your clothes you had on your back when they came in the middle of the night. Blaster pistols that you took from either your time in service or off of fallen comrades. And a desire for freedom and perhaps revenge. You don't know where you're going. The transports have the cargo hold separate from the rest of it, and you did not have the tools in order to get yourself elsewhere. So this sees our 4 veterans arriving at a destination they do not know, with only blaster pistols and perhaps a plan. We would see, as the viewers, the Gozanti makes its way across a beautiful verdant green surface towards a large white edifice in the background. As we get in closer, a marked contrast to Fade, we can see the beautiful lush forests, the gorgeous coastline, and the pristine towers of Arago Starport. The Gozanti turns and circles over this so we can see where the starport is. And there are 2 things that are of note. For one, there is a substantial Imperial presence here. Imperial walkers of the ATST and AT-AT variety, lots of the grays of the Imperial Army, and whites of the Stormtroopers. The pristine, matching almost the pristine geometric designs of the starport itself, of the Lambda-class shuttle landing down as well. I'm going to save what else is there for when you guys step out. But I'd like you guys first to take a look at what to expect at the starport. If Roll20 will accommodate, that is. I think I may have broken Roll20 here. Oh, there we go. It suddenly remembered. Let me see if I grab your tokens. Now, it is easy to look at the faces of the Stormtroopers, even with the various changes that each of you have gone through. I'd like you to tell us what is going through, or tell us at least something about your trooper yourself. What's going through your mind? What was left behind? How have you been handling the situation? Well, again, while there is a single genetic donor for each of the clones, we know from the fiction, personalities of the clones can be very different. And then, of course, the experiences they live through have changed them as well. What I assume as well is whatever thing caused you to turn on your respective Jedi, if you were serving with them at the time of Order 66, that strange impulse that took over, you've not felt that since that day. It's not common knowledge in fiction that there was that biochip that enabled them to do that, but none of you have felt that pull since that day. Start with the birthday boy. Tell us about Bushwhack. What's been going through Bushwhack's mind?
Bushwhack, he's really... The reason he came here is to try and get away from stuff. He's very much got this kind of Jeremiah Johnson mindset. He wants to get way out, away from anything civilized, and just live off the land. That's where his mind is.
Yeah.
He's like, everywhere everything bad happened, for him, was always in some sort of urban type, or not urban is not the word I'm wanting to say, but
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. In a built-up civilization, which is really interesting because that means you potentially could have avoided when they came. When the Empire came, you probably saw that in the middle of the night, all the fire and whatnot, and you chose to come and help.
Yep.
What about Crater?
Crater want kill. Crater want revenge. Crater not use complete sentences.
Crater may have mild traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, I think. He wants back. He wants to see be at the right end of a gun sight, and he wants to do maximum damage to the Empire.
Okay. Sundown.
Sundown's not too far different from Crater. He's the impulse to kill the Jedi was strange, but looking back on it, he feels that they basically the commandos got screwed over by the Republic, and now they've been screwed over by the Empire, and the only people you can rely on are other clones. And this trash.
Yeah, and
Empire will get our revenge.
As a commando, you're going to have a slightly different independent streak to you than what the regular clone troopers have, but also a weird built of this is like the ideal social unit for you as well. Yeah.
But because the rest of my commando squad, I'm guessing, died on Fade, so I'm gonna go payback.
Okay. Why did Crater and Sundown go to Fade as opposed to anywhere else?
For a brief moment, thinking of laying down the sword and picking up the plowshare, but clearly that was a mistake.
Crater wanted wherever the people come together, there is a need for security, and maybe an army could be forged there that I could be a part of, so I can kill and get revenge.
Oh. So did Crater then take part in some of the resistance or rebellion discussion that was going on?
Almost inevitably.
Oh, that is a heavy burden to carry for this long trip. Am I right in thinking that there may be a plasteel, container that has a shit ton of bruising in it from you just
Yeah, definitely.
What about
I'm not sure Sundown would trust the rebellion either.
Well, there is no rebellion. This is
Republic
early enough where the rebellion isn't even a thing.
Okay.
What they may still frame them as traitors or as separatists at this stage. There's just not enough. I think in part because people don't understand the four corners of what's happened with the Empire at this point, and partly because there's just everyone who would be trying to lead that thing probably was an early target for Vader, for the Inquisitors, or otherwise just for Imperial forces. Right now, it's a matter of I don't even know what to do. In fiction, we remember that even by the time of Andor, there is a rebellion that's in place, but some of their earliest successes are happening only a couple of years before the Battle of Yavin. So this is really, there's no one really to throw in with, and there probably wasn't even a really organized thing. This isn't a matter of we're going to take up arms and take on the Empire. It's we really need to be drawing some attention to shit, and this is how the Empire responds. Trench, what about you?
Alrighty, well, Trench, he's a lot like the lines of Crater and Sundown, but it's personal for him. I believe he was really attached to his Jedi, either like a father figure kind of thing, and the whole Order, the biochip thing, flicking him over felt like a betrayal of everything he was. So he is a seething pile of rage on the inside, and he drinks to cover it up, and it's causing him to white or premature age.
Nice.
And but he's it's like a poison pill that he's just nurturing, and he's trying to hook up with people that are like-minded that will give him the opportunity to strike back.
So was Trench part of the discussions that Crater took part in?
He would have been like a fly on the wall kind of just listening and offering quiet, angry support.
So it sounds like really none of you guys. I mean, it sounds like maybe Crater and Trench might know one another. Crater does seem to have a fairly simple needs as far as social interaction goes, and Trench would offer drunken guy at the end of the bar kind of social interaction.
And the kind of stitching up they might need and to keep them going for a little bit longer. With his training in healing.
Yeah.
The medic. So
what do you guys think? Do Crater and Trench know one another? But otherwise, you guys were relative strangers, brothers in arms, but strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Could be.
Yeah.
So
Could
then,
sounds like the plan.
The transport has come to a rest, and then the door opens, and it is a beautiful, comfortable breeze that comes in. There's a smell of, you guys haven't smelt this. I think there's probably a planet that comes to mind for each of you in a different place when the smell of trees and green leaves comes in. And the ocean, that salty smell of the ocean comes in as well. And it's almost immediately broken when you can hear the processed and digitized voice of one of the probably stormtroopers. Says, "All right, get in there. Clean that out." So this means, I imagine you guys have had time to plan what you're going to do when you arrive. What was that plan, guys? Is it to hide? Is it to sneak off? The cargo hold is mostly empty, but there is a bunch of boxes and shit you can hide on. Plenty of places you can, secret yourself behind. Was the plan to kind of get a jump on people? Was the plan to hide, wait till kind of the things cool down and then sneak off here, or have you given any thought to the plan just yet?
Trench is all for now that they're at the location they need to be, is getting gear and getting set up in a position to, make sure they can defend themselves. So he's like, if we can catch one or two of them alone, it increases our chances of getting away.
Yep. So let's mug some folks to get us.
Yes. Do violence to some people.
So is the plan then to try and hide and then jump these folks as they come in? Or once they're deeper into the hold? The
Yes.
Gozanti is a pretty big vessel. Like, you can think of, if you stacked maybe 4 or 6 semi-trailers kind of stacked up 2 and down 3, that's about the amount of space we're talking about in a Gozanti. Like, it's a big cargo area full of shit.
Yeah, we'd want to let somebody come in, because if we mug them too near the door, somebody outside might hear.
Awesome. Yeah. Then let's do this, guys. I have set the difficulty. Hold on, I'm going to give you a couple. I'll set the modifiers on mine. I'm going to give you 2 blues and to set the difficulty, because there's plenty of stuff to hide behind. Why doesn't everyone give us a stealth check, please? I can't remember if anyone's got any modifiers to stealth from their talents, but if you do, go ahead and add that on your end.
Excuse me. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Not
You've added
stealth.
2. So
I've added the because all of you guys are
so
getting
we
the
don't
same.
have to.
Yeah, all you need to do is just roll your stealth skill.
Okay.
Holy smokes. Holy shit. All right,
The
guys.
force
So
is with us, guys.
you're easily hidden. The number of successes tells us you guys are hidden. And what the extra, the advantage does is,
Wow.
One thing I posted, guys, was because one of the source books has some, I didn't put it as a handout. Hold on. Let me give this to you. It's got some neat situational ones you can use in combat specifically for different locations.
Right,
One of those I've got is the urban one.
Do share later which book that was in. We need to get
That was
hold
in
of
the soldier one. What's it called? Called
Okay,
Arms?
Cool times. Okay.
I think.
I'll try and track that down.
No, Forged in Battle. Yeah. I'll post it again too. I think I posted a picture of it in.
You posted the shots because they look really cool. So
it's neat. Honestly, Fantasy Flight did a fucking amazing job with this product line. Every one of the books for every one of the products is full of really, really great stuff. So I don't know if any of these necessarily apply, guys, but I'll tell you, I just want to make sure you have that in mind for how you might spend your advantage. I think I'll let you bank that stuff for your first attack for now, because I'll tell you what is coming in. What you see walking in, and I think it's more kind of loping in, is a pair of Ithorians.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, they are not dressed like this. They are dressed like dock workers. One of them seems to be an adult, and one of them either seems to be small or, small for their size, or perhaps a child. Both are wearing the kind of like drab, bluish gray outfits that are supplied by kind of the Imperial supply people for people working in their things. They're kind of like the anti-Gap. They want to have no colors in their stuff. So seeing them, there is a chance that you guys may be able to piece together where you are. I am going to set the difficulty a little hard right now. But why don't you guys each give us an outer rim? Lore is at the very bottom of your character sheet, and you'll find lore outer rim. If you wouldn't mind giving us a roll on that, please. Nice.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good Lord, look at that threat.
So there's an awful lot of threat from Bushwhack. But he got a success as well. Okay, Bushwhack, you are taking 5 strain from post-traumatic stress. So, yeah, because you actually, what it tells us is you know precisely where you are, knowing there's Ithorians here, and knowing that there are, what do you call it? That there are, you're on the ocean, you can smell sands, and you would know relatively how long you've been traveling in hyperspace. Yeah, hyperspace. And then, let's see here, Trench. You also know you're going to take 1 strain from that as well. That dark knowledge. See, I can shoehorn Cthulhu into anything. You are on the planet of Arago. Both of you know, and I think you didn't necessarily serve together. Arago is a currently, when you were last here, Arago was it is technically in the mid-rim, but it's very close to the outer rim. It is a very attractive location because it was along a lot of supply lines going out to separatist worlds. It was separatist, but only by the rulers. There were humans who ran here and ran a population of mostly Ithorians. The humans who ran this were exceptionally cruel and very, they almost ran it like it was a theme park for them to live as imperial nobles with the Ithorians as their underlings. The nobles also deployed a huge amount of droids to keep the Ithorians in line. As is the case with many of the campaigns during the Clone Wars, you were part of the army that arrived, smashed the local rulers' control, and they unfortunately took to the mountains, and there was some very brutal fighting with them there. But what you all found was that the Ithorians' population here, they were kept very much in the dark by the humans, so they didn't quite understand what the context was. What they understood, and what your experience here was that you were armored knights from the stars who smashed the steel demons. You don't know what happened afterwards, but this is one of the rare occasions where you truly were liberators. There was a very oppressive army that was here, that you drove out, and then Bushwhack, I think you were part of some of the really ugly fighting in the mountains. That's reflected why you were taking this one so bad. But then the army pretty much left, except for the arms depot that was left behind here. This was used as a supply depot for the latter part of the Clone Wars, which means if you are on Arago, there is going to be at the least a Republic-era arms depot here, and potentially a depot of Imperial occupation as well. So, tell us first what bushwhack is going through your mind. What you expect is these people seem to, last time they saw clone faces, saw them as heroes unlike anything else they had ever experienced. But Bushwhack, what do we see on you to reflect the impact of this, knowing where you are?
I mean, he... You see his jaw clench, but his color leaves his face. You know, he gets uptight. He's almost getting into an adrenaline state. He's very drawn up. His body tenses. And he's thinking of the things that he saw, obviously, and he knows where he is now. And, you know, he's not thrilled about it. But
so
Trench hasn't lost his cool yet.
Sounds like that Bushwhack's not going to be in a position to tell everyone where you are. Trench, do you?
Trench, his like eye will twitch as he realizes where he is. Kind of like annoyed, but also maybe this is better for the long run. And he'll turn to the others and says, good and bad news. Mostly good news. Maybe a weapons depot here.
John will say, "Why? What is this place then?"
I'll tell you. We came to free the population, and he goes, quote unquote, and then we left like cowards.
So, if there is a arms depot here, given how far this is from the core, what you all would know, at least from rumors from other clones that have come in, the Empire had an aggressive program of decommissioning Republic-era wartime surplus and whatnot. The one thing, though, is that seems to be starting from core, making your way out, because you want to show the folks who live in the core that the Empire is here and it's new and whatever else. There is a possibility that there may still be a cache of Clone Wars era gear here, and this was a supply depot for many of the campaigns in the Outer Rim. So there could be a wide variety of not only a material for outfitting each of you, potentially Clone Wars era vehicles as well. So what you see is these Ithorians, they seem to have, they don't have translators on right now because they're speaking to each other in Ithorian. And I think that both Bushwhack and Trench, you were here long enough to be able to pick up some things of it. The gist of what you're getting from this is that they are their job is to hose down stuff and then to transport this stuff off to make sure they can unload things. And you would know, both of you, that it's an Ithorian child who is being put to work here. Mm-hmm. So,
let's see. Maybe these Ithorians can help us off. If they're offloading the ship, maybe we can get off within it. Let's see if we can persuade them.
Well, you did roll an awful lot of advantage on your first rolls.
They must recognize my face.
I think there's a very good chance they would recognize their face.
Tell them the knights are back.
So how would you like to do that? You can picture these guys are the two of them are moving around through the cargo holds, beginning to sort of disinfect shit that is carrying these kind of disinfecting units on their back. You can catch them together. You can catch them separately because there will be opportunities to do both, and you all rolled amazingly with your stealth rolls before.
Shall I just step out? I'll go cuckoo and try and catch the attention of one.
Which one would you like?
And then
The child or the adult?
I think the adult's probably the better bet.
Okay. So if you step out and make a sound, he looks over and there's a in Ithorian of surprise, and his head kind of like headstock kind of moves back, and then he kind of looks around one way or the other, and then fumbles with something at his throat, and kind of pushes this thing in and activates it, and he says, "The knights."
Yes, citizen. It's nice to see a friendly face.
He looks around. It is not safe for you here.
I know. Can you perhaps get us off this ship and give us a fighting chance to get away? I don't want to put you or your child at risk, but if you could, are you able to offload any of these packing cases?
We can. But, and you can see his eyes are sort of like looking around trying to decide. But it's not safe. The Empire devils are everywhere.
Good.
We need, I think.
There's a second.
My thought is
2 knights.
In fact, there are 4.
And then Trench will step out from his hiding spot.
And this is when the kid kind of comes, running up to hear what the dad was saying, and she kind of, whoa, does that squirk. One of the things that Ithorians can do is they can bellow quite loud with their side mouths, and she does not do that, thankfully. But there is a bit of a whoa, and you can hear that, that Imperial comm voice. What's going on in there? And he looks at you all and kind of gestures, hide.
No.
okay. So if we scuttle off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my apologies to the British players, but you guys are, of course, the brunt of every bully in any Star Wars session. So someone very much with an accent similar to James or Graham steps in. What are you doing in here? You should have been done this work by now. And he looks, as is always the case with, not that, the Imperial, an exceptionally punchable face. I believe the casting call that they have for it is Smug Young Brit. Get this done. We need to get this back in the air soon. Filthy creatures. And he turns back, and the Ithorian says, sorry, sir, we will be finished soon. And you can see there are Imperial labor droids that are beginning to kind of line up and get ready to go on. He heads back on, and he runs over, and you can hear the child ask something, and he looks at you all and hits his translator once again. It seems that she doesn't have one. And she says, my daughter asks, will you drive the bad men away?
One day, maybe, one day. But we are but 4.
Yes. We are here to kill them all.
Trench kind of looks over at Crater and just nods sternly.
So you can hear that there is at least 1 or 2 Imperial looks like army, just based on the grays that they're wearing. But it's, from the sounds of things, there is more of the sounds of starports. You guys have been around more than enough of them to hear the sound of starship engines running, loading things, the sort of general cacophony that occurs. Will, I think you would be most familiar with this with your Navy experience, just the general fucking noise. What he says, the Ithorian, is, what should we do?
You must be unloading and offloading things here. Do you know of a depot of old Republican
he thinks,
material?
Your castle.
Yes.
That sounds like it.
Yes.
Can you get us there? Can you get a box there with us in it?
We can get you to the box. And he thinks, yes, I think so. So, and he goes over and pulls up one of the boxes, and it's full of some of the, you can tell that this is a bunch of like personal effects that were taken from Stormtroopers. Seems like they were collecting up all the things that could be salvaged. Never let it be said that the Empire won't recycle their, military gear. And he says, hide! Is that the plan? Does you guys just hide in a series of boxes and have the boxes transported?
I guess so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
All right.
Well, the initial plan was to punch people, but because friendlies walked in.
All right. So then I think let's do this. So I'm not making the rules for it. Let's use. I think command. Who has any training in? Oh, not command. What is it called? Leadership.
Leadership.
Yeah, leadership.
I've got 2 yellows and a green.
Nice.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. Does anyone else have training in leadership? Okay.
No, that's just 2 greens.
So let's do this here. I'm going to set the difficulty. I'm going to spend a dark side point to upgrade the difficulty of this. Because
I've also got this ability to command 2. I can add 2 to my blue leadership checks.
oh, okay, excellent. Yeah. So here's what we'll do is I've set the difficulty for this. What you're doing, Trench, is you're kind of laying out the plan. And actually that makes sense because you're familiar with this place as well, of where to transport them. So we'll leave this to dictate what the outcome is. Add 2 blues on your dice pool, and then go ahead and give us a leadership check. I've set the difficulty of what the difficulty is to avoid the attention of these guards, and I've spent a dark side point to upgrade it because I'm a son of a bitch.
And then leadership. There it is.
Yes.
Very nice.
I managed to succeed.
Yes.
There's not even a tense moment. Nobody's getting strained from any threat. So you guys. This is one of maybe the more unusual plans that some of you have had, but Sundown, this probably tracks with some of your past experiences, maybe. You guys
I'm
are
sure. Sneaking in on those clankers in the past.
What is going through everyone's mind as you're making your way through here? You idea of this is the first moment of isolation where you're not around your clone brothers and in hiding, being transported, carried along in these things by this lumbering Imperial labor droid.
Yes. Back to the good old days.
Great.
Almost think Bushwhack he's almost like relaxed now, because he's by himself. That's very relaxing for him. He's still awake. He hasn't fallen asleep yet, but that's kind of where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trench he's nervous the entire time. He's in a box, just waiting for it to pop open, and he starts swinging. That's what he's expecting.
Okay.
But he's trying to suppress it.
For Crater, it's like an ISO cube. It's comforting. Crater is asleep.
Nice. Oh, prison. Love it. And Sundown?
Oh, Sundown is like say just back to the good old days.
Okay. So then, what? Oh, that's great. So yeah, all your discipline checks, guys, will get 2 blues thanks to Trench's excellent planning. So then,
Cool.
where you guys see daylight once again, let me just adjust this a little bit.
It appears to be cool planning, but it's seething rage underneath.
Nice. All right.
Never let them see your anger.
No.
So This is where you guys would step out. Is you would see around that large white central spire. You guys have the box have been left down, and he says when the things open up once again, what you can see is that you're not at the depot yet, but Trench, you can tell that you are you're very, very close to it. You're like in an alleyway across the way. And he says, he touches his, first he starts talking or speaking in Ithorian, and then kind of realizes he hasn't hit his janky, translation unit yet. He pushes it up against his throat again, and he says, I'm sorry, there's someone there. They're never there. And as you guys pull yourselves out, or even just like poke your head over and look, you can see that there is a squad of 4 army garrison officers who seem to be lounging around outside this the depot. There's a door that you have been through many a time, both Trench and Trench more so, but Bushwhack, you definitely have been in there before. It's one of these low, squat, like imperial, actually, this is one of the local buildings. Now I think of it, it wouldn't have had time they've taken over some local place, reinforced it, and then meeting. So it's very similar to the, white and blue, design that makes up this, the Arago city. But there's definitely 4 Imperial soldiers, and they've got one little droid detachment that they have, the little scout droid things. They don't seem to be looking for anyone. It's honestly a bunch of young Imperials just being bullies. So he says, I'm sorry. I've seen them before. One of them, he's trouble.
And is this depot far from here?
Right across the street. Actually, Trench would know me. Your character wouldn't know. You may be role-playing, and I'm being a fucking idiot, so let me stop talking. Yeah. Trench, it's right across the street, so...
Yeah, he'll grumble a little bit and says, they may be there now, but they won't be for long.
They've got... These boxes are full of personal effects. There must be some clothing that obscures our heads.
Definitely.
So that'll get us close.
Yep.
You can hear elsewhere in town as well, not like nearby, but it's a distinctive the sound of ATSTs making their way around.
So no loud noises.
Or just when one of you gets your hands on some, anti-armor stuff. Or perhaps some logs. I hear they're notoriously susceptible to logs as well. So, you guys can look out and you can see there are 4 of the bully boys across the side there. Each of them is armed with a blaster rifle and... The lead bully boy seems to have a blaster pistol. I am justifying my purchase of my cards. So, what's the plan, guys?
Trench leans over to the other 3 and says, if we could get them into this alleyway, it'd be a lot easier to take care of them. Maybe we could go over there, tell them that somebody had smuggled some cargo and dumped it in the alley, and maybe they should investigate, and then we jump them.
Oh yeah, see something, say something.
Let's do that. Maybe it's best for you, officer.
I could do that.
The Ithorian puts things to his voice, his throat once again. I could do that.
Even better idea.
That way the 4 of us could jump them and you can flee.
And do that. Once you've done that, get away from here with your daughter.
He turns down and he says to her, and she clearly does not want to leave. And he gets down on his knees. And he gestures at you guys. Her head kind of goes down, turns and runs off to the end of the alleyway. And then you see one of her eye stalks kind of goes around the corner. He's like,
He gets a chuckle out of Trench because he remembers you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here from his drink bar dives.
Yeah. So then he heads off. So first off, let's talk about because this game uses abstracted, zones and stuff like that. If you guys think there's a place you could take cover in, taking cover is a maneuver, but what it grants you is a point of defense. What defense is a black dice on attacks on you. A black dice is a situational negative dice. Blue dice is a situational positive dice. You now will know what all the dice do. Blue and black are situational. Green and yellow are skill or ability. Red and purple are the difficulty dice. So,
which of us is really good at hand-to-hand brawling?
I think somebody's also grants a pretty sweet bonus when you take cover.
Oh, I think I've got. Let me see. I don't think I've got anything like cover.
I've got an ability.
Mm-hmm.
Prime positioning will give us a bonus to your soak versus ranged by 2. And tactical advantage lets us I can perform an incidental, take some strain, and we can leave from cover and still have it for the round.
Oh, I see what that's. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a prime positioning here. This is what it does.
Guess this is brawl time.
So what are you guys thinking? You each have your blaster pistol.
Thinking if we could take him down with the most amount of shots not being fired to draw the suspicion of the big robots, we should do that. Anybody good at fisticuffs?
I've got okay brawling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's brawl? There it is.
I think it does your brawn in damage for unarmed.
And I get a bonus blue die because of one of my talents.
How does this game handle disarming?
Disarming is an advantage spend, I believe.
Okay.
Let me double check though.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense.
We should
But
definitely.
basically, that's not very powerful.
I will tell you, so this game, like a lot, while I'm looking up this rule, like a lot of the games we have played, has minion mechanics. So these guys are quite literally called minions. So when you damage the group of them, they will take damage consecutively. So if for instance you do enough to take out, say, one of them, excess damage will go to another one. So you would. We would narratively describe however we want to, you punch in one and then kind of bap another one on the face. But it also means that the more of them there are, the tougher they are, because their skill dice comes from their numbers. They have abilities that are dictated by whoever they are, but their skill dice comes from their numbers. So they're more dangerous up front and less dangerous as time goes along. I'm fine with you guys all kind of picking up like a board or a sharp bit of whatever, so at least you'd have the equivalent of like brass knuckles.
Yeah.
Because brass knuckles are +1 damage and a crit of 4.
Let's do that, and maybe who else is decent at fisticuffs? Maybe we start, and if it's not going well, the last of you finish with blasters if necessary.
I've got a yellow and a green for my brawl.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this, guys. Why don't we set our initiative order first? I can't remember if the tokens work on this, so click on your token, and then if you could click on cool under the initiative tracker. You guys have had time to plan for this, so we'll set your initiative ladder. I actually don't know if it populates to the thing. Oh, it does. It's PC. Great. Great. Awesome. So we're into month 5 of me not deleting an initiative tracker. Let's try and keep with that. There we go. Surely this may be one of the few New Year's resolutions I actually keep through the year. Not to jinx it, but... All right, and then I will roll for them. Theirs is going to be vigilance, though. So For today, I'm rolling everything up front, so you guys will see. We've always traditionally rolled that. Much as I would like to use my special dice or whatnot, it has been tradition in this game to roll everything in the open. So let me see how they do.
Especially when our rolls can give bad results and yours can give us good results, and
Absolutely.
it's fun.
Yeah.
I remember those 2 sessions I played before.
It's an experience. Like, the game offers an experience unlike any other game I've played. The way that the narrative dice play out is it's totally different from any other game I've run or played. I will apologize in advance for if what this does is encourage me and Graham to start getting Embers of the Empire to the table. Both of us have been geeking out about that for a while. Okay, so here we go.
War of the Throne. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Okay, so let me roll for them. Guys,
good grief.
Fuck. God.
Suck.
And that was the end.
I recognize that sound. It's when I roll in the open.
Describe
you,
what
Madison.
They got more successes. We got more advantages. So,
So they win.
Yeah, it would be a tiebreaker. But let's do this here. All right. So, what you see is it takes a bit of convincing for this and for them to finally get down. And one of them, I think Bully Boy in Chief, seems suspicious. So they, like, I don't trust him. Hold him here. So one of them is staying actually back, keeping a watch on him. And then they come down. Why don't we do this? I'm going to set the difficulty for what their search would have been. I'm assuming you guys are trying to get the drop here. So let me think here. It would be 1... Yeah, there we go. No, hold on. Yep, that's right. Go ahead and give us stealth checks, please, guys. And remember to add... Oh, and... add in... Oh, a despair! Okay.
Yeah.
the trench is like, that was not part of the plan.
Yeah,
they have a hostage.
And that's just straight, right, Kevin? Just straight.
Yeah, I've set the difficulty for it.
No blues. Okay, go.
And I failed, and
Ooh, and I got. So here's another thing that's interesting about this bushwhack. Even though you failed, you still generated an advantage. You can succeed and get threat. You can fail and get advantage. So if, for instance, you wanted to take that advantage and get rid of 1 point of strain damage, you could do that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay, and as another example, Sundown, you can't do anything with it, but you could give a situational benefit to somebody else if you like with that advantage.
yep.
What are you thinking?
I'll give it to whoever's going first.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, what's that?
Similarly, what you could do is you could impose a black on attacks.
Okay.
Is that 1 or is that 2? I'm trying to remember. I'm second guessing myself now.
So
Black costs 2.
1.
Sorry. So you have to give a blue to somebody.
Yep. So I'll give a blue to whoever goes first.
Okay. So then what they do is, as they're kind of approaching here, stealth. I should name you guys after skills. That would have been a really sick joke on me. Hey, leadership, what are you doing? Trench, what do you think it is that causes you to warn them that you guys are in here?
Oh, I'm the reason we gave ourselves away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a threat.
so-
That's what I'm.
When he sees the hostage being taken, and he knows the daughter's watching from far away, he's just flashing back to that Jedi moment when this chip activated, and he just freezes at the worst possible moment when he's about to hide, and he's like half behind the thing, looking at the guys, and he's invisible.
Okay, let me just set the. I'm gonna set the wound threshold for these guys. I forgot to do that. I did, however, remember to set the tokens to my preferred way. Look at that. Okay, let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. And get rid of this. All right, so then they come around the corner, and Trench is the one who is sort of standing. John, I feel really bad for continually attacking your characters first in a lot of these games.
That's fine.
So they come around the corner, and they're like, you! And
Fuck you.
so it was a maneuver for them to move over, and then they're going to have to make a shot. I am not taking strain because they're minions.
At least my soak is up because of the ability.
Yeah, well, and you've also taken cover as well.
Cover, yeah.
What is your talent? Does it grant +1 to everybody, or?
When you're an ally in short range takes cover, you both get your soak versus ranged attacks by 2.
Awesome. Okay, so you'll have 3 black dice on the attack roll. So let me quickly set that up here. The range is 2, I think.
My
No, it's
stealth
a short
sucked,
range.
but yeah.
Where is it here? Oh, range bands. Here we go. Short range is easy. All right, so now here's what you guys could do. For instance, if you'd like, John, to try and save your bacon, you could spend a force point to increase the difficulty of my attack, which would upgrade my 1 purple into a red, which means I could get a despair as well.
I'll do that just because, being tied to the Jedi somehow, he's just drawing on whatever link he shared just to
Run,
make
Luke.
it not happen again.
Okay. Why don't you click on Use Light Side then? That should recalculate the pool for everybody. There you go. And I'll upgrade the difficulty. I have 3 black dice on that, and then I have 2 and 2. Alrighty. So then we are opening fire. So they're blasting down here. Wow. No hits with it whatsoever.
No.
Like
But
Imperial Stormtroopers are.
let's take a... these are even worse, too, because they're the Imperial Garrison.
Out of the army.
Yeah. Says the Navy man.
Yep.
So 2. However, it does shatter I'm using one of the things here. Shatters a transparent steel. Maybe the one of the crates shatters in front of you. You take 1 strain from it, Trench. Okay. I think you should have.
I one disappeared when we changed screens.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. Perfect. All right. So then
I didn't notice till now.
I have gone. Who would like to go next? Any one of you guys can go next. They are in short range of you right now. They're at the 1 zone away at the end of the alleyway. Who'd like to go?
I would like to go first, and I would like to activate tactical advantage if everyone's okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your one where...
I'm going to suffer 2 strain, and we're going to keep our cover benefits for the turn.
Okay. So that is a
Great.
maneuver.
Wow.
You could take another maneuver by taking 2 strain, and you can take an action. What would you like to do?
Is it 2 strain or 1 strain for another action?
2 strain for another action.
Okay. I'll spend another 2 strain, and I'm going to just charge right up to one of the guys and try to smack him.
You got it.
With that,
Let me set the difficulty
the
here.
board.
I think melee is always a 2 difficulty. Is that right, Graham? Melee 2?
It'd be my brawling.
Yeah.
Melee attacks are average 2, yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
2.
so I've got that set. They don't have any defenses. Do you have any benefits to brawl? Any?
I've just got the yellow and green dice, I think. Let me
So
double
difficulty
check
is set.
my-
Roll at your leisure.
Let's see. Athletics, blue, leadership. Yeah, no extra benefits.
Okay, go right ahead.
And brawling. Come on, light side.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay,
Swing
so
and a
you
miss.
race in and you're swinging. Unfortunately, of the clones, I think Trench might be the smallest of you. So he screams and runs in, and he is swinging. One of them in the midst of the melee manages to clark you across the face. You take another strain.
Ouch.
Who would like to go next?
Oh, plus.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what we normally do, right?
Crater will rush one.
Okay.
And ring neck.
Yeah,
I was
Crater.
just distracting him for Crater.
So 1 maneuver to run into to engage, and then
Okay.
what would you like to do?
Wring his neck.
Dice pool set for you whenever you're ready.
Okay, so smash him against the side of the wall, kind of thing. It's brawl, right?
Yeah, it'll be brawl, and it'll be your brawn +1 in damage, and the crit threshold is 4.
Okay. Brawl, it's not.
You can use melee instead if that's better, because you are using technically carrying shit around. I think some of you guys get, as troopers, you get training in melee, so that might be better for you.
Sure, it's a skill, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And combat skills are the second one down. First one are your knowledge skills, and then combat, then more.
I'll just go straight click on the brawl. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we can figure out the
success.
So that is 6 points of damage.
It is.
And then what do you want to use that advantage for?
Oh, I forgot about the blue die for going first. That have changed.
Oh yeah, that's
Which
true,
one?
Yeah.
I think James gave us a blue die to the first person to go, and we forgot about that.
Oh yeah. That's okay. We can use it on the next person, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, they get 2 because I'm gonna pass on an advantage die to my next colleague.
Awesome. So you're sort of knocking everyone around.
Yeah.
All right. So
literally just smash him against the walls.
Look at this. It's being battered around. Who'd like to go next? Sundown or Bushwhack?
Yeah, I can go ahead and go. I think I'm going to just straight up punch.
Okay.
I actually like that a little bit better.
So you run in as your maneuver. Add 2 dice to your dice pool, because both Sundown and Crater have set up a good situation for you here.
And then let's go here.
Ooh, okay, so you're getting in and you're exchanging blows with these guys, but you're not able to get to connect with them. But you got 2 advantage. So you could do something like impose a black dice on their next action.
I think that's probably the best thing to do.
Okay.
Combined with that cover,
here's a nice one. So the shattered transparasteel shrapnel inflicting 1 strain. Here's one of the nice things: minions do not suffer strain; they just suffer damage. So that would be an indirect way of using the environment to do damage to them. Do you maybe like smash them into through a wall or something like that? Or
I mean, I imagine these transsteel smash could actually come out quite jagged. Pretty sharp, pointy bits.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you want to spend your advantage on. Then they take 1 more. Clone scum! Sundown, what are you doing?
Now there's 1 blue left. So I'll add that.
Oh, yeah,
and I'll smack the... go in again and start swinging.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Come on, something big here, boys.
There you go.
There you go.
So that is
what's
your brawn is a 3, I think. So that'd be 4, 5 in total. Oof. 1 of them is down.
And I'll add another, do a similar thing, swing 1 of them against the wall, and then give 1 blue to the next. No, in fact, I'm going to put a black on them.
There is one option in there. A vehicle, power supply, amp store, fuel canister explodes, inflicting 10 points of damage to all engaged characters.
Let's not do that.
Hey, that's all engaged characters, so that'd be us too.
And you can split up your thing. So if you want to grant a blue to, like, say, the next person who acts, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to give a blue to the next person who acts and a black to them.
Oh, a black to them. Okay, not the actual. Oh, love it. Yeah, that works. Okay. So how long does your cover last, Trench?
Until my next turn.
Until your next. Oh, so you could choose to wait till act later in the turn then, which is awesome. Okay, so then top of the round, it is them. There's only 2 left, and then there's the 1 guy. So he's going to spend a maneuver to race over to his buddies. Then they are going to... I think they're going to try and beat Trench again. You were the first one to go in.
Yep.
So, my difficulty is a 2. They... I don't think have training in Brawl. They don't. The reason that matters is it means they don't get to add yellow dice. They only get to have a number of dice equal to their numbers.
With all the black they got. Oh, okay.
And they've got
We'll
1, 2, 3, 4 black dice on this. So let's see how the attack goes.
Yeah.
It seems that in the course of trying to grapple and knock you around, one of them manages to step on one of those jagged shards and suffers more damage. Who would like to go next? You're getting a blue in whatever you choose to do.
Go, Crater. Whip their butt.
Yeah, okay. I pick up rifle. I sort of whip crack one of them with the butt of the rifle.
Love it. Yep. So we'll do the same thing as we did before. Use melee for that instead of brawn. It'll do the same as a...
Okay.
Oh, let me set the difficulty. Sorry, I've got to... Madison, you're falling down in the job. You do not have 4 black
I'm happy
dice.
to take brawl. Oh, I'll do melee then, all right.
1, 2... Okay, you're good to go.
Okay, do I need to add any blue or not?
1 blue.
1 blue. I should add that now.
Yep.
Click. And melee. Oh, come on. Let's go. Here you go.
Let's see. Yeah! Oh, nice. All right, so that is 4, 5, that is 8 points of damage.
Okay.
So look at this. What does it look like as you take one of them down altogether?
Crater is an ogre. Crater has a club. Crater knock out stormtrooper.
And he's down. Who would like to go next?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and, I think he's going to try and actually he's going to come around and actually kick this guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just right in the chest.
You got it.
Come on.
Yes.
Nice.
Your
Nice.
brawn is a 3, so that's 4, 5 points of damage with 1 advantage. Another one down. What do you want to use that advantage for? You could feed a blue to the next.
This is goofy, but can I use it kind of narratively?
Yeah, of course. What are you thinking?
I want to make sure. Well, you said the other guy ran over, so I want to make sure that Athorian is able to get away safely. That's narratively what I'd like to make sure of.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. That's a great spend. Okay, then.
If you didn't do it, I was going to do it. So
Nice. So he kind of, and he's racing
John
away.
and I have been playing together too long.
All right, then, who would like to go next?
I guess it'll be me.
Yep,
So
go for it.
let's.
Nice.
You're exchanging blows. So that is, I think your brawn is a 3, so that's 4, 5 points of damage. But you take 1 strain in exchange for that.
Yep.
Okay. So that'll be. There we go. Oof. And then Trench.
Trench just maneuvers behind this last guy and just try to knock out blow to the back of the head. Just
right ahead.
punch him.
Okay. So you technically, hold on. I think you can use your maneuver to aim. Is aim only for range attacks, or do you get it? Is it just like a narrative
I don't
aim?
know.
Let's have a look.
I'm not trying to strain myself though.
No, but you get a free maneuver anyway. So
Okay.
but it'll grant you a blue on your attack. And I just can't
Next
remember.
attack, it just says attack.
Yeah. So if you want to take your maneuver
Next
to line
attack.
up, as you said, the narrative benefit of that is +1 blue.
Alrighty,
Nice.
let's
Nice.
go for the knockout blow.
Do it.
Oh, what a triumph!
Alrighty,
So-
I like to spin my advantage to reduce a strain on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, if I might make a suggestion for your triumph, nobody heard nothing.
Nice.
Love it.
All right,
Love
so
it.
you take these guys down. You now are able to salvage 3 blaster rifles and 1 blaster pistol from this bunch of downed garrison officers. And do you want to take their uniforms as well?
Yes.
The uniform.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, we can take these guys' uniforms and walk back over there like we know what we're doing.
Each of their trooper uniforms and helmets grants +1 soak as well, which in, I think it's Crater's case, grants another 1.
Right, yeah.
So you're getting your armor, or maybe there's Sundown who has one of you guys has the thing that gives a talent that gives you count your soak as 1 higher.
Yep, that's what I do.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's you. Yeah, of course, it's the fucking commando. Can I have my Katarn armor, please? It's very special.
Yeah.
Get this shoddy army crap off.
So, as you guys all dress up, you sort of do a look over at one another, and like, I'd like you to take a moment and take a look at the pictures of your characters and think how unlikely you are as the replacement for these clean-cut young fascist Imperials. But you're like,
Yeah.
you make your way over. The droid seems to recognize you guys. They have not updated their subroutines, so they still recognize the clone face as a part of the military. So you are given access to this. We're going to take our mid-session break in a moment. But as you guys open the door and step inside, I would like to share with you the view that you see dominating the middle of this small warehouse. There is, of course, a bunch of gear and stuff that is set on the other side. There is one particular item that may have caught your attention.
It's the Millennium Falcon.
To be honest, in my mind, even better.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come to daddy.
There is a slightly... it is not quite decommissioned. It's still sitting kind of like ready for deployment. An ATTE.
Like an L-Core from Mass Effect.
Sort of, yeah. So, guys, let's take our mid-session break now. Refresh our beverages, take our break, and then we'll come back. We'll find our heroes all upgraded. We will also let Bushwhack and Trench as you're upgrading. This is shit you're used to. We'll have you make a roll to try and recover some of your strain.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll see what you guys are choosing to do next. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
All right.
All right. Let me just set something up here. I was joking with some of the other players, James, about to see if you, maybe it was you. Was it you? I was making the joke about my Star Wars owlbear.
No, wasn't me.
So I was minimum the Night Below guys. I was like, see if you can spot what my Star Wars owlbear is. And that would be the ATTE. I fucking love this thing. And I put it in almost every Star Wars adventure I can.
It's got a lot of guns on that bad boy.
And I don't know what it is, like the aesthetic of it, the sound, the great weight. Like one of the things that's was in the early days of CG stuff. The thing I was, I wasn't crazy about was how it lost the sense of weight, like the way that the AT-AT moved in on film. That miniature had such a feeling of like weight to it, right? Yeah. The ATTE as a fully digital thing that wasn't a model, they fucking nailed it with all the neat little moving parts, but it has that lurching feel to it. God, I love it. And there's an episode of Rebels where a salvaged ATTE is used by a bunch of old clone troopers to face two AT-ATs. And it's so good. It's one of my favorite half hours of TV ever.
I had forgotten how fun this game is.
Yeah, it's a really... I did as well. Man, is it a...
Oh, man. You got
I remember my thought...
I love my
two... What?
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I remember my thoughts, initially when I played it, like, the two other times, that with all these dice, it'd be kind of hard to do it live, but when everything's automated, it's like, oh, this is great.
Even like the dice are a lot of fun, and they do take a long time. Like even more so than like Shadowrun is my sort of high water mark for like having to roll and look at results stuff that slows things down. This does, but even in person, there's a dice app that they've had since the game was published, and in person we started playing with that just because it was, the dice are very fucking cool and they're really neat to look at, but they do slow things down enough that it can, for an impatient DM like me, it really takes you out of the frenetic pace that Star Wars combat should have, in my mind.
I have to say, yeah, because my experience face to face is that people really enjoy picking from a pool of different dice, picking their things and rolling them. It's very tactile.
I'm not using it today, but I have my...
Yeah, the rolling part's the fun part. The counting, on the other hand.
Oh, you just got to do that.
Yeah, and it cancels out too. Like if you set them aside,
cancel them out, so flip them aside. Yeah,
and they do resolve. Like if there's a lot less of the thing that's interesting about the game is that every dice roll can have a. It's rare you see where like I've rolled and nothing's happened, right? Like there's usually like there's a threat or there's an advantage left over or something that's going to affect the way the things are, or a triumph or a despair. And
because it's not that swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss that you get in some games. I've
talked before about the how sharp like initiative in Savage Worlds is just unlike any other RPG. It just there's a fun part of it that is present with that than for nothing else. A triumph when you roll a failure is also just like, it's so good in this game, and you don't get that in any other game.
And the two Clone Wars books are great. I like them a lot.
The Clone Wars books are great. Honestly, again, like all of them are great, but all those unbranded ones, the Allies and Adversary one is amazing. Gadgets and Gear,
right.
What do you call it? Speeders and Starships. That is all the stuff. There's three ones that are like, from the Separatist era up to the Rebellion era, and then there's three that were the gadgets, the vehicles, and the enemies, like Allies and Adversaries. Awesome books, like just great. All the things that I would want that are spread across a bunch of different areas. The only thing I'll fault it for is in order to get the ATTE, it is only in. Another reason to get Forged in Battle. I think it appears in one of the Edge of the Empire ones as well, but they didn't reprint the ATTE in the vehicle book for The ATST is there, but as we'll see, there's a reason why you might want to have one over the other. So, let me give you just what you guys would know is just mechanically wise, so you can judge whether driving a tank out of here is an effective strategy. The scale of, unlike WEG Star Wars they don't have a difference of scale between vehicles and starships. Vehicles and starships use the same scale, but it's a factor of 10 higher than what the personal scale is. I mention that only because the ATTE is equipped with a cannon that does 7 points of vehicle scale damage, which is substantial.
Yes.
You can blow up a TIE fighter with a hit.
Yeah, I have.
You can
I'm
significantly damage a ATST with a hit. The hull, just like characters, there is hull threshold and there's strain threshold for the vehicles. The hull threshold of the ATTE is 40. By comparison, the Chicken Walker, the ATST, has a hull threshold of 15. And I believe the TIE Fighter has a hull threshold of 6.
Dang.
Yeah, so I say that only to give you context for what your next choice is going to be. The downside is it's exceptionally fucking slow, and it handles like a hog. It imposes two...
We're talking black tie, aren't we?
Sorry?
Sorry, go on.
Flat tire?
Yeah, I was going to say black die, but yeah, flat tire.
Oh, black die, yeah. It inflicts 2 black die on for handling. No. So, and I don't think any of you guys are certified to drive this thing, so it's going to be even more fun.
I'm not trained, but I got 3 green die.
Heck yeah, that's
nice. Yeah.
Plus, you can also always spend light side dice or force point to upgrade to a yellow to try and get that triumph. So, what we see is, first of all, we're seeing a montage of you guys all gearing up, and there's 2 things we need to do. First thing I'd like you to do is those of you who have taken strain damage. I'm just double checking what it is. Let me make sure I've cleared my dice pool because this is an uncontested roll. Here we go. Recovering from strain. You guys can choose. Make either a discipline or a cool check. Every hit that you get on this restores 1 strain. So bushwhack and trench.
I recommend bushwhack, use discipline because you get a +2 for my ability, and I'll use cool.
Oh yeah, you get +2 green or +2 blues from discipline.
Well, nice, good one.
Trench 5.
Solid.
That's fucking great.
Wow.
Now that he's had a chance to cool down the seething rage, he's like,
yeah,
strapping on
as
his old
high as you can
clone
get.
armor.
It's amazing.
So 2 blue. Okay. That's...
No. If you guys haven't taken, Sundown, you did take 1 strain, didn't you?
Yep. So
Okay.
I'll just roll it for the hell of it.
There we go.
And discipline.
Bushwhack, you're going to recover 1 strain.
Okay.
Nice. So Sundown, you were fully
wow.
recovered, and do you want to do anything with that advantage?
And give other people healing from it, can you?
You can, but it costs, I think, 2?
No.
Oh, I might be wrong about that. 2 is what you need in order to grant a blue dice to... 2 is to take blue dice for yourself.
I think we just need to keep that as a blue for a next roll.
Okay. All right. So and it's a save comments. Rules is written. You can't bank advantage that way, but it's more fun doing it that way.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
It's the way we always played it as well.
Oh,
GM gets to do it too,
right.
so.
Yeah. Sounds. I mean, honestly, if you think that that sounds fun is not the right way to approach a Star Wars game, you're playing a different Star Wars game than what I'm playing. All right, so here's the other thing you notice in Bushwhack. I think this. Tell me how this hits you. As you're getting yourself ready, and you can see Sundown has managed to track down a set of black Katarn armor once again. And because I happen to have this from someone else, and I think it looks so badass.
Is it the camouflaged armor?
Take a look.
No, that's Kataran armor.
Yeah, Kataran armor. Take a look at this.
No.
So that is Sundown getting geared up.
That's level 100 crafting. Straight there.
Yeah. Trench is a phase 2 clone trooper armor, is what does the sheet.
So,
am I able to find a blaster carbine?
yeah, so anything that you've got listed on your character sheet, those are sort of your favored weapons. I've assumed you grabbed those.
Okay.
You guys could also grab, like what I'm assuming is maybe the frag grenades. You could grab 1 or 2 of those as well.
Yes.
This is the thing that the ATT is the one vehicle that is not have been mothballed yet. Everything else is going to take hours in order to get back up or to get the engines back in them or whatnot. But Bushwhack, as everyone else is getting ready, and you've got because I think you've got that one that gives you the camouflage, right? You got the optical camouflage.
Yeah, that's the type
Awesome.
that camouflage that you see on Kashyyyk in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. So you get
So
yourself loaded up and geared up, and you look over, and what you see in the corner, stuffed in there, clearly not something that has been issued by or was issued by the Republic Army. What it is a bunch of homemade placards. Clearly something that was made in the kind of like Ithorian design. And I want you to picture the kind of like almost, Soviet style hero posters where it's got like the designs and like they're very like clearly positioned in a heroic kind of role. And what it is your face on every one of the heroes on those placards, crushing battle droids or droidicas or super battle droids. Clearly the locals had a extreme hero worship. And if you had any doubt of whether your sacrifice achieved anything for anyone during the Clone Wars, this is evidence that these people had a significantly positive change in their lives after the clones came. How does Bushwhack process that?
I think actually the first thing he really thinks of is why hasn't the Empire disposed of it? That's honestly really the first thing he thinks of, because he understands the totalitarian nature of the Empire.
Yeah.
But also, earlier he had that kind of bad reaction when we were in the ship. Now he's kind of on the flip side of that. Okay. Now he kind of for the first time in a long time, there's that small sense of peace. That you don't always get. Nine times out of 10, a clone is always in a state of heightened awareness, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But kind of being on the edge, because that's all they did basically was combat. But that kind of goes away for a minute, and he's just relaxed and he's kind of at peace.
So on the basis of that, why don't you give us one more discipline roll?
Okay, let's go skills.
And while you're doing so, I'll point out one thing. You know the wood-filled mountains outside of this city better than probably anybody else living. Because the worst part of the fighting you did on this planet was in this. Every hidey hole, every mountain stronghold, every backwoods cache of weapons and droids that the Empire used, that shit.
No. John, am I still getting the bonus from you, or is that just a one-time thing?
It's 24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wow.
I couldn't remember.
That's good.
Trench has a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
There
Awesome.
we go.
You want to bank that second, so you've cleared out your strain now. And you know what? Let's live a little. There's now 2 blue dice. Technically, Trench, why don't you get rid of your last strain?
That sounds like good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We may need it.
So as you guys get back
Say,
together,
you know he's just doing this because he's fixing to inflict a whole bunch. You know that, right?
Well, we've got a super robot, so
so as all of you guys get back together, you have sent your Ithorian friend off running. He and his daughter no doubt have gone for cover. You seem to have safely got yourself in here. You have now looking, you can picture you're all standing together in the middle of this depot with all this decommissioned, if ever there was a sign that, the time of the clone army was over, you guys now standing together with all your gear, all kind of ready to get back on mission. This is a reminder that time has not necessarily wholly passed yet. What are you guys doing?
Trench finishes the last strapping of his armor and says, "It's a good day to die, fellas."
I look at him and I'm like, I don't know about you, but I plan on living forever.
Sounds lonely.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, who am I talking to?
Yeah, exactly.
This
It's a
seems
good
like
day.
a better day for somebody else to die.
I was good to say. Good day for the Imperial scum to die.
Yeah.
Are
So
we driving this thing out, or are we leaving it here?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what exactly is the plan right now. Are we trying to find a place to strike from, or are we ready to just start spreading hate and discontent?
I think it's time to be an insurgency. So the question is, do we break out to the countryside with this, or do we try and sneak out?
Well, we wouldn't be heroes in the eyes of the civilians if we started destroying their town.
There's that too.
No.
We should find out where the rulers have hidden themselves in the mountains, and then bring the fight to
those
them.
rulers are long gone.
Yeah,
That's
it's all
Well, at least
imperial
they
now.
heralds
yeah.
then.
I mean, I think Kratos just looking at the size of that blast cannon on the top of the ATT.
It's a big gun.
And as much as there's going to be damage to the town, there is also something to be said, as Sundown said about the insurgency, of striking a presence in there.
We could strike a presence.
So let's
Bushwhack.
go out there, make some
Really
noise,
strike.
and then let's
Presence.
run for the hills after we've made a bit of a demonstration. So let's
Maybe.
stick some of these placards on the side of our ATT.
Yes.
All right, so you've got
Where's-
those, and you can actually see that in the same way that like a Soviet symbol might have like a tank or like a horse or whatnot as a mount for these things. There are several of these placards that have an ATTE as the mount that's being led into battle.
We've got a flag. Put a
Let's get
flag
some
on it.
gaffer tape, put it on the side. You say,
There's probably a flag amongst, or a standard of some kind of the Republic
don't-
Army.
I was going to say, yeah,
Okay.
let's get the flag, baby.
So our
Anything
montage
to
of you guys
roll with.
setting up all the symbols of this stuff, boy, it's almost like you guys are some kind of alliance to restore the Republic. That's really interesting.
yeah, screw the Republic.
I think that's where we are. It's not so much we want to, establish something. We want to tear something down.
Well, the Republic was pretty good until some bad people got in charge of it.
What, the Jedi?
So here is the positions that are available on the ship, the ATTE. You have a pilot. There can be a co-pilot or spotter. There can be a vehicle commander and up to 5 gunners, because there is the turret-mounted mass driver cannon, which has a short range, but it is slow firing, meaning it only fires once every 2 rounds. The upside is it does 7 points of damage at the vehicle scale and has
Times 10.
breach 2, which means it ignores 2 points of armor. The front-mounted light blaster cannons do 4 points of damage, but they are linked, meaning you can spend 2 advantage to hit a second time with them. And then there are the similar at the back, 2 aft-mounted cannons. You don't need a spotter, so you could have one person driving this and 2 on the light cannons or light blaster cannons and 1 on the heavy cannon. The cannons use gunnery. So
Yeah,
whoever
I've got
is
gunnery, 1 yellow, 2 green.
Oh, that's good.
Gunnery. I've got 1 yellow, 2 green as well.
Oh, good.
So gunnery, I've got 2
greens,
yellow, 1 green, and I've got barrage 2, which gives
You
me
should be on
2
the big
extra.
gun.
Barrage 2 gives me 2 extra damage, but at particularly long or extreme ranges.
Yeah, but still, sounds like you should be on the big gun.
All right,
Yeah, you
I'm not
should
going to argue.
So who's driving?
Oh, you're twisting my arm. Oh.
I guess
Bushwhack,
I'm
what do you
gonna have to drive.
How's your piloting?
We've got 3 green.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's 3 green as well for piloting.
So you're as good
I know.
at driving
I
as
know.
any of us. So.
You know,
I don't
guys,
drive
it's
those
almost
things.
like whoever made these characters intentionally made you shit at driving for comedic purposes.
No. So yeah, I'll handle piloting.
Okay. So you hit this thing and it kind of reasserts itself. Whoever put this thing in here did not really they powered down the engine, but there was no other decommissioning that was done on this thing.
I check how much gas is in it.
I actually, it's got some kind of Star Wars power source. I think you're good to go for I know canonically there's starship fuel, but I don't know what the vehicles run on, to be honest.
No.
Pure
Just comedic purposes.
Pure
Make sure
clone
there's
trooper
gas in it.
testosterone.
Well, I think
We
it's
get right out the doors and it just freezes because it's out of gas.
Sort of scene duration.
exactly. How many reels does this last for?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally will. XL fusion engines, fresh from the inner sphere. This is the first time Will's been able to drive a mecha, so that is kind of cool.
Hey!
Happy birthday, Will!
I'm glad I got one.
All right, so we got Crater is in the turret. We've got Bushwhack behind the stick. We're Sundown and Trench. What are you guys thinking?
Little guns.
Guess I'll go on the front cannon.
Okay.
I'll go on the rear.
Small
Nice.
cannon.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, so everything's up and running. You could fit 30 other troops in here, by the by. So plenty of room inside. Yeah, there's a lot of room in these things.
Just throw a crate of grenades in there.
Yeah.
Narratively, you can, if the plan is to do the insurgency, we can see the thing down, you guys loading all this shit in the inside of this thing. If someone questions the wisdom of loading a bunch of grenades inside this thing, and Crater,
It's gonna explode eventually.
how else
Let's
is he
just-
going to live up to his namesake? I mean,
There you go.
so then, guys, I think we would see a scene perhaps on the outside. Let me give you guys control over this token. And our scene would be on the outside of, maybe one of the chicken walkers stomping around. And how are you choosing to open the door to here?
So
The
we gotta
mechanism
go-
most definitely works for the hangar, but I will leave it to you guys to decide how to announce your arrival.
Just engage forward gear, I suggest.
Oh, you do that, you could let Crater blow a massive hole in the door. That's what I'm thinking.
I know this
that.
town fairly well. Are there residential areas immediately outside the hangar door?
Yeah, and the Imperial would have cleared out, because it's a base, they would have cleared out a lot of folks around there. Whatever's around here would have been old, what do you call it, Republic era garrisoning and offices and shit like that, so you're probably good to go.
Yeah. I imagine Crater's impatient to try the weapon and just thinks, well, we've got to do a test firing anyway, so...
Fire in the hole! So then, and almost like a shocked person, we see the chicken walker kind of and look over to see what's going on. Let's roll initiative for our pilots. And I didn't grab a pilot. Hold up, but I've got it in allies and adversaries.
Oh, okay.
Let me go. And here we go. Imperial. Not Navy. Not Royal Guard. Where's Army? Ooh, General Veers.
Yeah. do you have a stat sheet for this ATTT?
I don't, because I have not.
Okay, no worries.
I really wanted to get a. Oh, yeah, you guys were away for. I was joking to. I can't remember who that. See if you guys can pick or picture the owl bear of the Star Wars games for it. I think I've put an ATTE in almost every one of the Star Wars games I've run over the last 10 years because I
brilliant.
fucking love him.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, visually, mechanically, they're just awesome. Oh, sorry, guys. It's going to be only one of you that's rolling initiative because you do it by basically by vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to remember what you roll for that. You know what? Fuck it. Well, why don't we everyone roll initiative, and then we'll fill in the best one for that.
Okay.
So whoever rolls the best initiative, you guys get to go first. So let me...
Initiative, we're prepared. Cool.
Yes, so it'll be cool. All right.
Oh, trench. Look at that.
I just noticed something.
What's that?
Kevin misspelled my name on the
Damn,
character
Sundown.
sheet.
You did?
You did.
Buckwhack. Oh, yeah. All right, so 3 out of 2 is your best, or 3...
4.
Oh, yeah, I said
Yes,
correctly.
Sundown got it.
Wow.
Okay,
Sundown
so
got it.
if someone wants to add in 4:2 for the ATTE, I will...
It's in there.
there are 2...
Oh, here it is.
Let's see here. I think I copied that already. There we go. So there are 2 chicken walkers in here. One's at medium range right now. One is at short range. All right.
Clear the dice pool. There we go.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And then I will roll for them. Pilot. All right. That'll be 3. Green. Let's see how they do. Jesus Christ, guys. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Madison, quit cheating.
I can't accuse him of cheating when he's rolling in front
No,
of
I
us.
know. This is generally why I don't roll in the open in roll 20.
I know how well you roll.
Yeah.
This just makes it like real.
He's the anti-Jeff.
Yeah. Well, this is why games like Elder Scrolls, for instance, I've made my mandatory Elder Scrolls reference for today, are really good for you guys, because if I tend to roll high in that game, generally doesn't work in my favor. So
I was about to say we would won that one, and no.
all right, so what happens is we see this thing, the door explodes, and the ATTE begins lumbering out. This thing, wasting no time, begins. You see, Ithorians and other, people who are visiting the starport are all running for cover as this thing races down through. I'm going to give you, because it's still at short range, I'm going to give you 1 dice of cover, respectively each, so to reflect the fact that you're kind of having to shoot around buildings and stuff until you get into engaged. So this thing is going to.
Big Guy can shoot through stuff, though, right?
It can shoot through things as well, most definitely, as long as they got reach. So let me set this aside, and I'll grab the stats for my Shikan Walker, and let me set up difficulty. So it'll be short range is easy. We got 1 black dice for cover, and I actually have to use a maneuver to close in, so I'm not getting a black dice. And be 2 in there. That is the dice. All right. So then here we go. It fires at you. Oh boy! Wow. That is a hit. So to tell you the ATTE, I should have actually set up a character for you, because you can set up a character token for it, but I was lazy. Your soak is a 4, guys, and this will be damage to the hull threshold. So your hull threshold Let me clear this out.
You said it was 40, right?
Is 40. Yeah. So I did with the blasters. It is 4 points. I do 6 points of damage, which means you take 2 to the hull threshold.
All right.
If you got someone wants to apply that to the red bar.
That's the red one, right?
That's right. Yeah. So it hits the outside of you, and there's a little bit of sound of the inside of the tank. Of the ATTE, it is your guys' turn. So all of you get to choose to act in whatever action you want, whatever order you wish.
Can't edit the token number.
Yeah, I can't either.
Oh yeah, you know what? Probably because hold up, I didn't set the. There's always the sub approvals we've got to give you guys here. Here we go. Edit and edit. There you go. Should have full access now.
Yeah.
Okay. So then. Troopers, what do you wish to do?
I'm going to put this thing in full gear.
Okay.
Yeah. So he just raises the power.
Okay, you're going to have 2 black dice on yours from the handling of this thing. Okay. And let me set the difficulty. I think in this cramped environment is probably average, so it'll be 2... I actually can't remember what the nomenclature is for the difficulty in this, but I'll two purples. And do I want to make this fun? I think so. Let's spend 4 dark side dice and we'll upgrade that once for you.
It's okay. We'll just spend a light side to shoot it with the big gun.
Exactly. So then, Will, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a piloting check and make sure you got your 2 black dice in there.
Just the 2 black dice. Okay.
Yeah.
This should work. If it doesn't, I'll fix it.
Come on. Look at that! Awesome!
Nice.
Wow. All right. So you start stomping this thing out. Have you ever been behind the stick of something like this before?
You remember not the ATSTs, but I think it's an ATPT?
ATTEs, I think the little like scouty things?
Yeah, the little ones that the guy's like uncockpitted. He's kind of open.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's piloted that.
Awesome. Oh, STAPs, aren't they called? No, that's the flying things, the ATTE.
Ones, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do with a 2 advantage.
Oh, I stand correct. ATRT.
ATRT.
That's it right there.
Yep, he's piloted that.
Okay, awesome. All right, so yeah, you're like, meh, about the same. What would you like that advantage to go to?
Now, could I use those 2 advantage to reduce the damage he took?
No, you cannot reduce.
Okay.
Strain is something you can do that on, and you can do that on your vehicle as well. But and also, I should say, you can spend an extra. You can strain your vehicle to take an extra maneuver, because your maneuver right now is to start moving it out. You can. Let's see here. As an example, of what you could do. For next turn, this is just because you just move this right now. You can always use your action to just take another maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
So you could move yourself to a short range if you like.
Yeah.
And then
the miniguns are short range ones, are right? Medium.
One of your options. Oh, your speed is a. Your speed is a 1. I was checking for evasive maneuvers. Unfortunately, you are not fast enough to be able to do that.
we can't be evasive.
I could turn those 2 advantage into a blue dice for somebody else's next roll.
You could have
for your next roll.
You could have 2 blue dice for someone else. You could add 1 blue dice to your next roll if you want to try and offset those blacks you're getting from the handling.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do that? Okay. So Bushwhack has thrown you into action. For the first time in several years, an ATTE is stomping through the streets of Arago City. Who'd like to go next?
Question. The rear cannons can I just shoot at stuff behind us, or can I just...
Yes. Yeah. But you could use a maneuver to race to the front cannons if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And
did you turn towards the ATST, or did you turn away from them?
You talking to me?
Yeah, Bushwhack.
Yeah, I was moving. Remember, I used my maneuver to decrease the range to short, so I moved towards them.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Okay, so then, I think Sundown's in the front, Trenches in the back. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There's a second one at medium range. It's just I don't know if your cannons. Well, I forgot to go with them. They're probably at short range at this point. Your blaster cannons have a range of close, though. So, yeah. So, what would you like to do? Sundown, Trench, or Crater?
Why don't we try and take down the one that's close with the small cannons first?
Yeah.
So shall I?
Nice.
I'm
Like it.
there, so shall I just... I'll aim it.
Yeah, let me set your dice pool. I think you're... Oh, I'm not going to upgrade. Quit cheating, Madison. Jesus. My goodness.
Damn cheating ass.
I know. Ridiculous. Truly embracing the dark side here, you scoundrel. So then, truly, there's never been a hive of more scum and villainy than your fucking rolling, Kevin. Sundown, the dice are ready for you. If you want to aim,
I'll
remember, you
aim
could...
it.
That sounds
I'll put a
awesome.
blue in.
Well ahead of me.
While Trench is running to the front, and let's give it a shot.
Nice. That is a hit.
Hit.
So the...
Palpable hit.
They do 4 points of damage. And then you got 1 advantage. Oh, yeah, you're in the front. They're linked. Is it linked 1 or 2 to trigger up? I know it says linked 1, so it does give a cap on it. Normally, it's 2 advantage to trigger a lot of those actions.
Yeah.
Linked.
So linked is at the...
When triggered.
Oh, you know, it's on my GM screen. How about I use that? There we go.
Now, linked 1 or 2 says how many times you can hit.
Yeah. So it's 2. You need 2 advantage in order to trigger that. So,
Darn.
Okay.
Pay the blue dice forward then.
Oh.
Yep, I'll move the blue dice forward indeed.
okay.
Could Trench take a strain to actually get over there and fire?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's 2.
Yep. So then, but let me just quickly apply the damage to the ATTE or ATST. Okay, here we go. Walker fight.
Walker.
Nice. Love it.
3, so 6 points of damage. All right. The blaster bolts are hitting up against the side of this thing,
Okay.
but
Trench
it's pretty heavily armored as well. Trench?
Trench is basically slide in there, sweat beneath his helmet, and he says, "I'm gonna shoot him."
Okay.
In fact,
And then
can I rewind there? Much as I'd love to give you that advantage, but in the spirit of Return of the Jedi, rupture a pipe carrying water or other liquid, create an area of difficult terrain. We always like to see these ATSTs slip and
okay, yeah, that's cool.
Love it.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's
There's someone who's been shipping in. It's a seaport town, so there's an entire crate full of like fish and whatnot.
Yeah.
Spills out along the thing and wobbles around.
Alrighty.
Sorry, Trench, what would you like to do?
Okay, so no blue dice on mine. I'll just go ahead and gunnery it.
Okay. Another solid hit and another advantage. What would you like to do with that?
Pay it forward to Crater.
Okay.
Or actually, we can stack up the maneuver dice. Actually, go to piloting, because I think Crater's probably gonna.
Yep. Clearing your way.
So,
The
So
blue
those
dice will.
front cannons are blasted away at this thing, but it's taking the hits pretty well. Crater, what would you like to do?
aim to please, fire to please.
Go right ahead.
I shall gain a blue die, that means, does it? Yeah.
Yep. And I got the difficulty set for you.
Okay, gunnery. Let's go.
boom.
The critical rating of your mass driver cannon is a 3. Would you care to trigger a critical hit on this?
Yeah, go on.
Let me see if it survives first. So you did 10
Okay.
points of damage, and you have breach 2.
Reach 2.
Which means,
That's gotta hurt.
well, we have filled in its hull trauma right now. So would you give us a percentile roll, please?
It's convertible right now.
Let's see here. Higher is better here, obviously. 62. Let's character hero vehicle hits. So that's 2 points of system strain. I'm treating it as a minion, so that's not it. So it is hit. It kind of wobbles around on the fish that are there, and then explodes. That is one ATST down.
Nice.
All right. And then, you guys hear that?
No.
TIE fighters are in the air, guys.
Yeah.
So then, but that will be, they're going to be next round before they can take action. All right, so next up is this ATST. Comes forward. It is going to fire all of its weapons with both of them in there. Let's start with the... Okay, it's only a 1. I'm going to start with the... I just got a message from one of you guys say, use a dark side point to attack. Okay, if you insist.
Thank you.
We've got to start using those light sides.
Well, we've got 4
Well, I have
now,
none left.
so
I'm only going to get them back by you guys using them. So, all right. So then, I think my dice pool's together. This is with the cannons. Here we go. Oh, so that is
Is that critical?
5. Oh, it might be. It might be. Let's see here. No, critical's 4 for these blaster cannons.
Ooh, close.
So that is 4. I am gonna look at the urban rebellion thing, though. There's got to be something cool I can do there. So first thing is the thing will take 5 points of damage. So the hull will block 4, and then I am going to take a look at. So 3. Oh. So I think what happens is there is a the shots go wild and it hits like one of the larger buildings or the sides of it, and a bunch of rubble falls down on top. It'll be effectively staggering your vehicle for this round.
Ooh.
what's that effect do?
Stagger does. Do I have a list?
You can get all those blue dice, Will.
Yeah.
Conditions.
God.
Oh, I don't know the conditions, so let's take a look at the book. Where is it here? Nope, not soldier.
30.
Staggered 250.
30.
Or maybe it's 230. Yeah, actually, I am having
Staggered.
a hell of a time seeing today.
Wow, cannot perform actions on a personal.
Whoa! Last until the end. Okay, so the vehicle is not able to move this round because of the rubble that's been knocked down on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, which will give those TIE fighters time. Oh no!
Well, we can still shoot.
You can absolutely still
That's
shoot.
true. That's
So
true.
then it is our troopers' turn. What are you guys doing?
Is it close now? Can you shoot at it with your cannons?
It's moved into close range.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go first if Sundown's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take aim, and I'm gonna try to blast this thing.
Please do.
Yeah. Blast
So you
him.
got one
Aim
extra
gives me
blue. Go right ahead.
And it strains me for aiming, right? Or is that just my
No,
maneuver?
you get a free
Okay.
maneuver every turn too.
Okay.
Okay.
The rules are coming back to me.
Yeah.
Gunnery. Alrighty. Hey, what happens if I spin a light side point?
It'll upgrade your attack then.
Okay, let's do that. If everyone's okay
So
with
on
that.
your dice,
Yeah.
so spend your light side, and then on your dice pool, hit upgrade on your side, the side that has the green and the yellow.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
Nice.
And then gunnery.
Nice.
Yes.
2 advantage.
Hit.
Okay, so that is it is 4. Okay. You're so close to a crit there too.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna pass 2 dice along to Sundown. 2 blue dice.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Then Sundown and or Crater or Bushwhack. So you can't move this round, Bushwhack, but you could do something else. I'm not sure what you might want to do.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Can you
Go ahead while I'm
do anything to the strain we've got? Is there anything you can do with that?
I don't think so.
There we go. Okay. So that is 6 points of damage and another advantage.
Advantage on to Crater.
Okay.
The
That's
big one only
damage
fires every
control.
2 rounds, right?
Oh yeah, that's a
Damage
drawback.
control.
Oh, yeah. So you, because there is a, unless they're rebellion, there is a way of effectively trying to do first aid on your vehicle.
Yeah.
What check is that?
All right. I'm sure that's mechanics, probably.
It is.
Yeah.
Mechanics check. The difficulty is determined by the strain the ship is currently suffering.
Oh, there's no strain it's suffering. It's taking hull damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. But the hull trauma, hold on. Hull trauma is less than half
you
it.
can do it.
So it would
It's
be
easy.
an easy task. One purple.
With
Oh,
blue
okay.
die.
Nice. I'd
It
do
would cost you a maneuver to change roles in it, though. But you could just take a maneuver to get out of the pilot role and go into that one. But so that's fine. You just be out of the pilot seat for this round. You'd be running back to the pilot seat next round, Bushwhack.
Yep. So add 1 purple in there, you said?
Hold on. No. I've set the difficulty for that.
You do that on your end.
I
Okay,
did
just
it on
wanna
my
make sure.
end, and you could, and this you guys have 3 light side points too. You could spend a light side point to upgrade your roll to Bushwhack. Like if you don't have any training in it, you're not rolling any yellow dice. What
Yeah, let's
the
do
upgrade
that.
does was it'll give you 1 yellow.
You should have a blue as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got another blue. Okay.
Okay, so you got a blue, and then hit the upgrade on the green and yellow side,
Yeah.
and then go ahead and roll your mechanics.
Come on, Bushwhack.
Okay. Now, do I click use light side to lower that?
Yes, you do.
Okay, great. So I
Yeah,
did
that'll
that right.
adjust it. Perfect.
Mechanics, come on, light my fire.
Nice. 3 points of damage healed, Bushwhack.
Sweet.
And then we have Crater left to go.
Can't shoot, can I? Because it's every other turn.
Yeah, it's
I'm busy-
recycling.
I'm winding it up or something.
Yeah, come on! You
Yeah.
see the little like boop, boop, boop.
But what you can see is it gradually, it's sort of it's going up and it's pointing at a TIE fighter, starting to track it.
All
Can
right.
I aim this turn and add the aim?
Yeah, I
How
think
many- can you?
I think it's
I think
so long
you
as you
can.
don't move.
Yeah, I think you can stack aims, can't you? A bit.
I think it's a maximum of 2. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it is. Yeah, something like that.
Here we go. Maneuvers, aim. Oh, you can also, a maneuver is to assist, guys. If you want to use your maneuver to help someone else, it grants a blue dice to them.
I will aim in that case. Seems the right thing to do.
So you only gain your benefit if you don't move the position. So that's fine.
It's all right.
And caps out at 2 blue.
Okay, great.
So if
Do
you're
that.
spending both your actions, you got plus 2 blue from aiming, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because you don't need to do anything else to have this thing cycle. Apart from like curse in the way that only a clone heavy trooper can.
It's not pretty.
Okay, so then let's make this interesting as well too. Yeah. There's some tie. There's a wing of ties.
They got some good response time.
They have. Damn them.
And they have them kind of sitting in like dispenser racks, canonically. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take much to get them out. That the scene in Endor when they're deploying the starfighters, the TIE fighters, is so fucking cool.
Yeah,
Only
it's
our
great.
police force was that fast.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking their. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I love how they've built TIE fighters to break in this game. Like they are not intended to survive. That's really like one hit. It's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna use, and these guys will be minions as well. So let's put them all out here. Wow, wow, and have them in 2 wings.
Wait till they line up in a line and just.
Okay, so they're not going to be able to attack this round. They're going to have to be spending this round to get above you guys. But so there we go. All right, so we're back at the top of the round. I'm going to put them after you guys. You just know that they are here. I think the only one who could potentially hit one of them is Crater at this point because of the range. So then this ATST is going to unload now. So we'll do this. Put 2 in. Should we use a dark side?
Oh, come on.
And here we go. Oh boy.
Big hit.
So that is 8 points of damage. And that is it for them. Oh, no, I'll grab the blue to the second one who's firing. Get rid of my upgrade. Because there's also a little grenade launcher on here. This is not going to do a lot of damage, but it might get a critical hit. So let's see.
He says might. It's
Explodes
It's
on there. So it's a breach 1. So it counts your armor as a 3, but it does not do enough damage to get through your armor. You guys hear a explosion that runs along the length of the hull, but no damage to the ATST. As it comes to your turn, it sloughs off all of that rubble that is on there, so you are free to move once again. Who'd like to go?
Just Crater goes first, so we don't move and lose the aim bonus.
Okay.
Oh, as long as he's in place. Like,
okay.
yeah, you don't need
All
to
right. Yeah, I'm tracking. I can do mine first if you like, and take out
Yeah,
a TIE
that's fine.
fighter.
Go ahead, man.
keep... Okay.
That's how we go. That's how we go.
I've got the difficulty set for it. You're firing at the ATST?
I was going to fire at a TIE fighter.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. So let me see.
Can I do that? I don't know if I can do
You
that.
absolutely can. I'm just going to see if they
All right.
are... yeah, I'm seeing if they... then I just need to adjust the difficulty here.
Possibly. You may need to.
He spent a dark. You should spend a light.
Could do.
Yeah. You want to
I
spend...
could do that, couldn't I? Yeah, all right, go on.
Nice. Go ahead. So upgrade
Sure.
yours.
So is it used light side, is it?
Yep.
Click.
And then upgrade on the green and yellow side for you.
So how to upgrade on there? Click 1.
Yep.
And 2 blue
I've got
dice.
2 blue at the moment. Is that right for my aiming?
That's right. Yeah.
Just 2. Okay. And gunnery.
Murder them.
Oh, triumph!
Critical.
Damn.
I think
Critical breach 2.
Trench may have made a joke about line them up, and you like, That is, with a breach 2, it means they have no armor. You have so far done, because a triumph also counts as a hit. I just want to see if the...
Oh yeah.
Oh, it already counts it as that. So that's already factored into your roll here. That's 9 points of damage. So one of them is gone. You have... Do you want to just take another one out flat out? Because you can cash 3 for a crit, and that triumph could be a crit as well.
I think there's like a coruscating blast which just sort of throws the TIE fighter off, and you got this scene of the TIE fighter rolling and tumbling.
Yeah.
To one
This is the
side.
disadvantage of them all deploying in kind of a unit, is when one blows up, the wing hits another one.
Yeah.
And you can see we cut to the little Ithorian girl who's like seeing these things explode. Who would like to go next?
Let's see here. What range are we at with AT?
The ATST is at close range right now. So Bushwhack, if you wanted to... the front cannons are covered right now. What are you thinking?
I was just thinking getting closer to it for whatever purpose might be a good idea.
You're already as close as you can get as far as all the weapons are concerned.
That's what I asked. Is there anything I can do maneuver-wise?
You know what?
With piloting?
How'd you feel about ramming it?
Oh, hell.
Yes.
It's on.
Oh yes.
Sundown, we need to get to the back cannons.
Because it has made the mistake of getting in close to where you are. I'm just going to check what the ramming speed is. Let's see here.
Yeah, can I get up to ramming speed?
Oh, you have 1 speed with this. It has a speed of 1, so you are going to need 2 strain, because you're going to run back to the pilot seat. You're going to accelerate, and then let's see here.
Been another light side. Just do it.
Let's set it as a contested piloting roll. That's probably the most sense from here. So let's do this here. So if you're spending it, make sure you hit your upgrade.
I did.
Okay, awesome.
Just let me know when you're ready for the difficulty.
I am good to go, so go right ahead.
Right.
Come on.
Oh no!
I mean, Lord.
So you go racing into this thing, and you can see, so the one threat, the vehicle is going to take 1 strain now. Servos that didn't get warmed up properly are beginning to blow. And then the despair. I think the despair is that at the last second, you see an Ithorian kind of run across the street, and you're like, ah! And hit to the side, and you plow into a building. So you're currently caught up in the building right now. You miss them altogether. Anyone else have any other actions?
Yeah. So we're facing the wrong way for the rear cannons, and our front cannons are stuck in a building.
Correct.
What would it take for us to grab some grenades, stick our heads out, and lob it at the ATV?
A maneuver to leave the position you're in, a maneuver to grab the gear, which costs 2 strain, and then you could do another maneuver to run to the door and open it up and be ready to do next turn.
I'll do that, and then have Sundown lob a grenade, because the door will be open.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So I'll take 6 strain.
No, you take 2 strain. 2 strain.
2 strain, okay.
Yeah, 1 maneuver is for free. You can convert your action into a maneuver for free. To take a 3rd maneuver costs you 2 strain.
Okay. Sundown, doors open, grenade it.
Okay.
Now, I should know, am I going to be better using a grenade, or am I better off using my rifle with my carbine with armor piercing?
Yeah, you're going to want to convert the weapon system over into anti-armor.
Anti-armor, right?
Yeah.
Let's give that one a go.
So let's assume you left it in that position. Obviously, that would be the logical first threat. You guys had seen the ATSTs. So the door is open. That'll be 2 strain for the extra maneuver to...
Yep.
You know what? We're going to roll either the advantage or the triumph forward. You can grant another maneuver to somebody. So let's say you're going to be able to get there at the cost of 2 strain, Sundown. And then let me set the difficulty for hitting that. There we go.
Can I take an additional strain to assist him?
No, because you're out of maneuvers you can do. It's a maneuver to do that.
Gotcha.
I mean, technically, Crater could.
Yeah,
Crater hasn't used his advantage, and he's like, take him down!
I'll do that. Over there!
Okay, so you're going to get 1 blue to this Sundown.
So I'm going to get in the window.
Yep.
Line up my sights. And find the right button. And anti-armor mode we go.
Here we go. Nice!
Nice.
So you were not expecting the kickback on this. You could take 1 strain. These are kind of banged into the thing. So you should have 3 strain right now, Sundown. But that is a hit. It has a breach of 1.
Wow.
Which means it reduces the armor by 1, and you did 2 extra. So this hits. Let's see here.
Does Blast 1 do anything? It's Blast
4. I can't remember if Blast is the area effect or Blast is it does armor.
It's probably just area effect, isn't it?
It's area of effect, I think.
Yeah, that's area effect for that. Breach ignores 1 point of armor. And prepare. You need a number of maneuvers to prepare it. Just take 2 extra strain. Let's just say that that's what you did. So you got... All right, so you've hit this thing. You've got its attention. Anyone else have any other actions? Or are we done our turn now?
I think that's everyone.
All right. The ties are turning in your direction.
Still 2.
Still 2 left. And let's see. We see that same recycled shot of the one TIE pilot kind of adjusting the thing. And he turns towards it. And let's make a shot here. I'll actually use these guys to make them more of a challenge here. We'll use them as whatever the mid-grade is. Not the minions. Rivals. Can't remember the nomenclature here. They're not nemesis, but they are rivals. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be gunnery. Okay. Here we go. There's not going to be aces in here, but... Okay, so the first one gets 4 advantage. I think, they're working together. Your vehicle is staggered once again as they bring the rest of the building down on you. And this other one's got a blue as he takes a pass. Oh, a hit. And that is 6. I can't do a crit. That is 7 points of damage. It's 7. I got linked, though. Both of them hit. That's what I'll spend that advantage on. So 2 hits for 7, so you take 6 points of damage total. All right, then they, kind of fly to the side. Chicken Walker is not pleased with you there, Sundown. So, but I think he's just going to fire on the... AT, what do you call it? TE. So we got that. I'm going to spend a dark side to upgrade so I can get some light side back in your pool, guys. I'm truly doing this for your benefit.
Yes, always.
I'm spending my maneuver to gaslight.
Despair.
So here we go.
Oh no!
That is 7 points of damage.
Yeah.
Fortunately, nothing else though.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ATTE is taking a beating, but it is our trooper's turn. What are you doing, guys?
Do I need to? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Do I need to make a piloting thing to try and get out of the?
Unfortunately, the vehicle is staggered this round because of that first tie shot. So you're not this round. The vehicle is sort of like waiting for shit to fall off of it. I will point out the ties are at close range right now.
Rear cannons.
Back to the front.
Okay. The rear. The front's buried in the building.
Okay. So Trench and Sundown, you're going to the rear again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whoever would like to act, and Bushwhack, you could try and do that repair thing again. The difficulty is going to be a little higher now, but
yeah.
Trench, he's going to strain himself to aim, and then he's going to shoot some cannons.
Let's see here. I'm setting. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, gunnery time.
Sorry, who are you shooting? The
TIE fighters.
TIE fighters. Okay.
Because they are close enough, and I think the ATVs where the guns can't reach them. Okay, fire!
Nice shot.
I think I'll get a critical hit on
Great
this.
shot, kid.
Actually, we can link those, right?
That could trigger a critical.
Yes.
So that is 6 points of damage. So it's a big hit on them. Do you want to trigger a crit with your?
Let's do a crit.
Go ahead and roll percentile, please.
Yeah.
On high. It's a
Okay.
1.
High.
It's a 1.
Oh, what?
Mechanical stress. The vehicle suffers 1 point of system stress, and they're not minions, so I'm not going to bother keep track of that. They have an 8
Yeah.
stress. So you hit this thing. There's in the cockpit. That same shot now has lightning playing across his board. Ah.
Nice. And I'm gonna pass on a blue die to Sundown when he goes to shoot.
Okay. Let me make
Nice.
sure. Hold on. I got another option for you. I want to make sure they're not linked. I think the front ones are the only ones that are linked. Yeah. The rear ones are not. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you could hit twice with that. Sundown.
Right, I will take a shot then.
Go right ahead.
So I guess I need to move across there
Yep.
and then take the shot.
Okay. You could take 2 strain to aim if you like. Gain a blue.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Let me just get reset and then pick one again. And then gunnery, come on, where's gunnery gone?
Whoa.
Oh,
But you
Actually-
got 4 advantage. What do
I
you
actually
think?
gave you a blue die too, Sundown. You should have 2 blue dice.
No, you're.
Oh, yeah.
What was you? Because you spent that on a crit. Crit rating.
Oh, is
on-
it 4 to crit on those things?
Yeah, like each weapon
Okay,
has a
never mind.
different crit rating.
Okay,
It's easier to get a crit with the giant cannon.
that was a 3.
Anything you think of the?
Bury it back.
I think will that have? Well, let's just do the as it's going flying past. Then I maybe hit something that explodes in its path and
Yeah.
gives it at least 1 damage.
No, it takes 1 strain then.
Oh, in that case,
Yeah, the only reason that was useful against the minions is because they don't take damage. You could make it staggered. Like I'm fine interpreting that as like.
yeah, let's do that. Let's
Okay, so shit's falling
make
down.
it spin off.
Yeah, so it needs to go off. It is not going to be able to act next round. So I'll put here. That's staggered. And then, so Sundown's gone, Trencher's gone, Crater and Bushwhack. What are you guys thinking?
I'm going to be targeting and aiming at the one that's rolling away.
Okay.
Just waiting for it to sort of right itself so I can fire at it.
Go right ahead.
Is there anything I could do to help him?
Yeah. You could be.
So I think maybe you just kind of stretch in the legs and give him a better stable platform to shoot from or something.
Yeah, that'll be your assist. So that'll be your maneuver to add +1 blue.
Okay, cool. There you go.
So you get a blue there, Crater. Are you firing it the ATSC or the tie?
I was going to go for the tie.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Is this the round that I can fire? It is.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, caught me out. I was too busy aiming. Right, so that's 2 blue. Well, no, I've been aiming. So
Shit, no, this
I
is
get
your
an aim.
reload round. Yeah, this is your reload round.
This is the reload round? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
so,
well, you could try to repair the ship.
I can
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
what I'll-
Go on then, do that, Will.
Yeah.
okay, so
What
let
is
me
that,
set the
2
difficulty
strength,
here.
Kevin?
I've got the difficulty. Do you want to spend a light side to upgrade?
I probably need to.
And let's
Go
assume
for it.
Crater's helping too, so you can take a blue on that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Use light side and add a die. Oh, there we go.
Add a blue, and then make sure you upgrade on the green and yellow side.
Yep. I did get that
Nice.
part.
Okay.
The hardest part for me is I keep wanting to click in the box to
Yeah.
change the number. And you just got to click light side. That's the hardest part for me
Yeah.
to remember.
Nice.
No.
Okay, so you're recovering 2 points of damage, but you're suffering 2 strain as doing that. You're really kind of like pushing this thing, like get it back together.
Yeah.
I think
So-
it's hammering on it or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
Is it all right?
Yeah. I think one of the hatches sort of falls open and hits you. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Kicks one thing closed and another thing falls open. Like, all right. Then, so we add 2 strain and subtract 2 hull trauma. And I think that is everybody. So let's quickly take my turn here. That TIE fighter's having a pinwheel around in place. The other one is going to come back around and try and hit you. I cannot make the TIE fighter sounds, but I think we all have it in the head. Oh! That is 10 points of damage. So that'll be 6 damage total to the hull. from those TIE fighters. And I don't have enough advantage. Let's shoot with that... ATST. That is a hit, but it's only 5 points of damage. Take 1 more hull trauma. And that should be 3 right now. Okay. And, I don't think anyone healed the hull trauma, so that actually should be... Oh, maybe you did.
Yeah, it was a 25, then 23.
You're just taking a lot of damage. Okay.
Yeah. 25 to 23, and then took 9 and 1. So
the Imperial forces have gone. Who would like to go next? The vehicle can be moved yet again.
Clear the front guns and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if Crater goes first, you might be able to give him some blue dice for his getting the thing out of the
I can try.
building.
I'm aiming at the TIE fighter that's now righting itself. It's just righting itself. You can see the pilot looking smug for a moment, and then hopefully we'll see
Take
what
some
happens.
strain to
Yeah.
get another aim in.
Yeah.
Clone
I've got 2
scum.
blue, I think, at
You
the
should
moment.
know when you're retired. And it...
The one that's damaged, or...
We'll treat him as... We're in the last
Undamaged.
2 minutes of the session. We'll treat him as a minion. So as long as you... whatever damage you do, that thing does so much fucking damage that...
So I think it's 2 blue that I'm adding in here.
I think 3, because someone else was assessing
Is it
Bushwhack
3?
was going to help you as
Yeah,
well.
I'm gonna
Oh,
sit-
okay. Nice. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Gunnery.
So you really have to push it. You're going to suffer 1 strain to the vehicle, but
Okay.
that is 11 points of damage. What's it look like as you take the 2 of them out?
Oh, it's like, I don't know, sort of like Daddy Longlegs that unfortunately get into the wind, and it's like bits of them just literally it's just an explosion of pieces
Nice.
all over the place.
All right, then Sundown, Trench. You guys have actions. What do you would like to do?
Trench is going to go like all in. He's going to strain himself to aim
Okay.
and just unload on this thing guy with the rear guns again.
Go right ahead. I've got my side
and
done.
maybe let's upgrade our shots.
Yeah, go to the
We've
front.
got 2 left, right?
Yeah, like what I'm assuming you're getting the strain for is because you're running to the front guns as one maneuver, aiming as a second maneuver, and then firing. That's why
Yep,
you're taking 2 strain, right, Trench?
Totally. I'm just
'cause-
meaning let's use a destiny point to upgrade.
Yeah, and the front the front cannons are linked, which means you could spend 2 advantage to hit twice.
Okay.
That's how I hit you twice with the TIE cannons.
Ooh,
Yes,
nice.
we will do that.
Linked
So-
is good.
So
go ahead and
Trench, your dice, and James has suggested spending a light side point. You want to do that?
Yes. Well, actually, let's Sundown do that on his turn.
Okay. So
Let
go
him
ahead and
get
make
some
your
of that
attack
glory.
roll. Whenever you're ready, you should have 1 blue.
Oh, look
So
at
that is a hit.
That's a hit.
That is 5 points of damage. Oh, what do you want to do with that 3 advantage?
Pass it to Sundown.
So
3 blue
3.
dice.
Is there any? Do you guys have any suggestions for the 3 advantage? You could do exactly what I've been doing and send rubble down on this thing so it can't act next turn.
It can still probably shoot
Let's
us,
do
though.
that.
No, it can't act.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and bury it then.
Okay, so then it is 5.
Wait, these are linked. I could just spin that to shoot it again.
Yes, you can. So you hit
Yeah.
well, you know, it means you hit twice.
Okay.
So then that is
That's nice.
2
do
hits
that.
of 5. Look at that.
Okay.
Come on, Sundown. You got this
And
one.
then that means 1 dice to Sundown. So Sundown, you're getting a blue. If you want to strain yourself for 2, you can get another blue.
And then light side
Yep.
it.
I'll do that, and I'll use a...
Just lit it up.
Ooh, I'm now at 11 strain now. I'll use the light side point as well.
Okay.
So I need to upgrade manually, right? So
Are
just
you at 11? You're
upgrade
strain.
one.
I'm not sure where you're putting it, but it's not updating to your token.
No, I've got 11 on my character sheet.
No. It's probably just not pulling it from the character sheet.
Oh, yeah. Hold up. You know, it's just dropped everything that was your token, or I didn't set up the tokens properly. Hold up.
Yeah. I just been uploading
I'll
my
hit
token.
the run. So let's go. Come on, something good, boys.
Oh, look at that.
Lee, whoa!
Link.
Why don't you just tell us what it looks like as you aim and then destroy this ATST?
Both the cannons smack it right in the cockpit, and the the main body just at that point explodes everywhere.
Then I think, guys, what we see. Let's return back to that overhead shot.
Oh yeah.
Because we see, you can hear the sounds of what sounds like crowds all kind of crying and whatnot. But as we get down closer to the street, what we see is this thing with all the placards on the side and the Rebel or the Alliance banner flying, or the not the Alliance, the Republic banner flying, stomping through the streets to the cheers of the surrounding Ithorians. And I think the last we see of these troopers, at least today, will be this ATTE, which in days and weeks to come they call the Knight's Steed.
Elephant.
Elephant, yes.
And you guys see this thing off into the woods. Let's close with a personal perspective. What is in everyone's mind as Bushwhack sets a course for somewhere that he says he absolutely knows they will not find you? What's going through our Flame Trooper's mind?
He's just glad to get back in the land again. He's glad to get away from all the people, and he's with his brothers.
Okay. There's a look of contentment that you have not seen on Bushwhack's face, I think, in quite some time.
I think Kratos just thinking, oh, let's do that again.
That's great. Sundown,
Just
Trench?
Just the start.
Okay.
You see Trench. He's pulling out one of his, like a flask to drink from. And he looks at it and puts it away, and there's like this steely glint in his eyes, like this is just the beginning.
I think Sundown maybe kicks the tactical planning table that's in the back there. Then this holographic display of the local terrain sets off, and our session will end with a long, drone or helicopter shot, seeing this thing stomp its way into the woods. Smoke trailing behind. And with that, guys, we bring to an end the first of our Star Wars sessions, Lament, for last year's model. So that was, holy smokes, is this a fun game to run? My goodness.
It should be like a legitimate scene in a Star Wars movie, because it's awesome.
It's
This is just a great game.
It is a thing that it always offers up is it gives such a great, authentically Star Wars experience. Well, this is I'm talking when I played this a shit ton of times before. This is your first time playing this.
Yeah.
What was your?
The dice mechanic is a good deal easier to understand with having the character sheet, and it's a lot easier to grasp than just straight up reading it and trying to figure it out.
Yeah. One of the things Will was saying before, he's like, reading, I didn't realize you hadn't played it before, but reading it, it's hard to judge what are my chances of success.
Yeah.
And one of the ways of looking at it is because when you know that the greens and the purples are the same, have the same sides on them, just reversed, the reds and the reds and the yellows are the same reversed, and the blues and the blacks, you can kind of judge of like, okay, I've got more of the good dice, less of the bad dice. That'll help with the judging.
The blue dice are really important.
The blue dice
that's something that I never really understood about, when you get an advantage on like your yellow die.
Yeah.
Like wild dice from Savage Worlds.
Right.
Yeah.
I never really got that. I'm like, oh man, that's really what's important, is situations that can give you more blue dice.
And the regular use of the Destiny pool as well, like giving the chance that more chances for more hits and more triumphs on the player side, and giving the risk of a threat is just a really important. That should, I feel like there's been times where I have been reluctant to make use of that, so making use of it on a regular basis I think is really important thing
And
for adding that Star Wars flavor.
And like the blue, you really got to use the black a lot. Because that's where the talents kick in. Because if you don't, then a lot of the talents become useless because they remove black. Or and if you're not using them, then that's a useless talent.
Is anybody else worried we left the DM with 4 destiny points?
It does. We roll the same thing we did off camera at the start of each session, so we always determine what the things are. But yeah. That was great. Well, thank you. So first off, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us on Star Wars Day and on Will's birthday for our session of Age of Rebellion, Lament for last year's model. It was, as a non sequitur too, it was very, very cool how different each of your characters felt. Like, the rules are definitely there to have each of your clones feel different, even though you have this similar starting point with same career, same, species. I really like that.
Yeah. Man, I like Crater. Crater was just like hit stuff.
Oh my God. And as this has also proven to be true, if you want to have a fun session, add an ATTE. You will not, they will not let you down. So... let's see here. So, as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the Star Wars Day event, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, and we have a channel there dedicated to Star Wars role-playing games, so you're welcome to join us over there. There's also channels for finding a group, for GM discussion. There's a really great community that has built up over the years over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. They have find a group channels, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat, lots of great stuff. There is also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard to find and out of print RPGs, including some of the Star Wars stuff. I got some of my most recent Star Wars decks from them because they're really difficult to find. If they don't have something in stock in their extensive collection, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in, and you can pick it up at your leisure. If you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserNight, all caps, all one word. It's in the description of the video. That'll save you 10% on your purchase, and if you're listening to this after June 30th, 2024, come back to one of our more recent videos, and you'll see what the discount code is there. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is a charity fundraising campaign that made this possible. A huge thank you to the generous donors who have made this session and later this afternoon session possible as well. This was a really fun combo that came together on this. It was really neat seeing the clone troopers against the Imperial military, and it was very cool playing this with Fantasy Flight Star Wars. So a big thank you to the generous donors for that. Again, all donations through that go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel, and if you've donated $25 or more since the start of January 2024, you'll be able to vote on the charity sessions we're running in the second half of the year. We're going to rely on our donors to help shape those as well. So if you enjoyed this process, if you enjoyed this game, and you make a donation of $25 or more, be sure to check out the Charity Initiatives channel on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, and I will be posting more information about that there. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart troopers for today. I really appreciate you guys jumping into play for this charity session or joining us to celebrate Will's birthday. So, Will, Graham, James, and John, thank you so much for playing today, guys. Congratulations for striking at least a small blow back against the Empire. We will be back in a galaxy far, far away in about 2 hours' time for our session this afternoon. But until then, or until we see you again otherwise, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our clone heroes in a galaxy far, far away, betrayed by the people they served, are experiencing. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, happy gaming, and may the Force be with you.